What is going on, guys? Stephanie Kabidi here, back at it with another YouTube video. And today, guys, today is a big day. I'm actually going to be speaking at a real estate investing meetup. Shout out to Zach Weiss. It's like the biggest meetup in Central PA, and this one's gonna be a big one. So it's me and a couple other speakers, you know, young investors, so I'm super excited. We already have a minimum of 200 people that RSVP'd, so this is about to be crazy. So I was like, why not take you guys along with me for this meetup? So I'm gonna be speaking, I'm the last speaker, so it's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna take you guys along with me so you can see how these meetups go. If you guys aren't going to meetups, definitely start. It's changing lives out there. Literally, I got my first fix and flip from just going to a meetup, and it helped change my mindset on everything. So like, start going to real estate investing meetups. It's gonna change the game for you. But with that being said, I'm gonna see you guys once I get to the meetup. Hey guys, we are at the meetup. Isaiah, I'm over here shaking. Why is my hand shaking? Ezra, Zach, David. It's a lot of people. I don't even know if you can hear me. David.
Here's all our speakers. All mic'd up.
All mic'd up.
He's getting his. Here's Mike. We're just going to alternate mics as you go one at a time. All right. So as he's finishing up, you should already have your mic feedback. And you're going last, right?
Yeah. So once he's finishing up, then go back, or before he's finishing up.
Before he's finishing up, just
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Sounds good.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah, what's up?
trying to be as real as I can.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm William Powers.
I appreciate the support. Thank you. But you guys are going up together, right? Or are you guys doing? Oh, you're doing separate? Oh shoot, I didn't know that. So what are you talking about?
Just my story and like a little bit about what we're doing now.
Yeah. You want to say hi to my vlog?
So first of all, welcome to the Central PA Investors Meetup.
Are you filming right now?
Who is here
Yeah.
for their very first Central
say something
PA
together.
Investors Meeting?
So, one of my favorite things about you is your videos, obviously. But the coolest part about it is that my son, who's 11, every single time I have a meetup, he goes, "Oh my God, is Stephanie gonna be there?" I think you're his first crush.
No way.
His first TikTok crush.
I'm honored.
So, he's gonna love this if it's on your
Well,
videos.
shout out to you. What's his name?
Drew.
Drew. Shout out to you, Drew.
I've been celebrating with the T. Blessings on the way, so are we. I got Dinos acting like they did once. You was never down, don't you play though? Yeah. I've been celebrating with the T. Blessings on the way, so are we.
All right, guys, so we have one speaker left. One of my favorite people in the area. She spoke for the first time ever at a meetup of mine maybe 2 years ago. So it's awesome to have her back. I won't steal all of her thunder, but Stephanie was a college dropout, then became a realtor, then became an investor, and she's gone on to do some really incredible stuff, not only with real estate, but just being an entrepreneur. And hopefully she drops some knowledge on us tonight about social media, because she crushes it. Who's on TikTok? I'm not, my daughters are, but she kills it. I'm actually on TikTok just to follow my daughters, though. I have 2 people I'm following, it's both of them. But anyway, we're about to really hear a treat. This lady is absolutely phenomenal. Let's give a huge round of applause for Stephanie Kabidi.
I've been celebrating with the T. Blessings on the way, so are we. I got Dinos.
Is this on? Oh, there we go. I appreciate it. I always appreciate you, giving me the opportunity to speak at events like this. I learned so much just from coming to these types of events, and it's always great to give back of what I experienced to, the new investors out there that are looking to grow and start their real estate business. But yeah, my name's Stephanie Kabidi. I'm a real estate agent, investor, and I guess you can say content creator. So I do have like a TikTok and all that stuff, but I don't have it in the slides today, but if y'all want some game on that, I can definitely give y'all that. But today's agenda, I want to go over my journey. So literally my story here, go over some lessons I learned through the full-on process of me, starting my journey to where I'm at now. And then lastly, I want to go over how to do a fix and flip with like very little money. Like I'm talking like you guys are going to want to stay tuned for that. So we're going to get into that, but let's start with my journey here. So starting at the end of 2019, I decided to drop out of college, like Zach said. I came from a family of like that traditional mindset where you go to high school, you go to college, you get married, that full-on cycle. But I had a feeling like God wanted me to break that cycle. Wanted me to show people that you don't need a college degree in order to become successful. So I did end up going to college, right? So I went to Lock Haven University. I was there for literally 5 days. I'm not even joking. You can ask my mom. I called her. I said, come pick me up. It just didn't feel right. She said, you still got to go to college. No matter what, you still going to college. So literally that same day, drove straight to Harrisburg Area Community College. So there I enrolled. I was there for a year and a half. I still had that feeling. I was like, wait, it just doesn't feel right. Like I'm listening to a business professor that has never even ran a business. Like, how am I, like it just didn't make sense. Paying all this money in tuition and stuff. So, did I go back? I don't know. There we go. But yeah, so listening to him, and I was like, it didn't make sense. So it was like eating me up alive. And then this one night I told my parents, I was like, I'm dropping out of college. And it was the toughest decision of my life, but the best decision, right? I really relied on God because I didn't know what, the future held. But I told them my game plan. My sister kind of believed in me. She was like, give her a chance, give her a year or so, see what she has. And then, she could always come back to college if need be. So I worked like crazy. I got a full-time job at a warehouse, working, Monday through Friday, then a part-time job as a caregiver. So I'm working 7 days a week, along with also having a drop shipping store. So working, using that money to fund my business. So literally it's just work, 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 work. And during that time, I realized I had a money mindset. Like, I was just focused on money. I'm like, I'm going to make a quick 6 figures and stuff, where your mind should not be that way. I had to have that shift. I'm a Christian, and I'm, very transparent about that. Yeah. And, yeah. Yep. So, during that time, my relationship with God wasn't there. But I had a realization. I'm not sure exactly what that spark was, but I knew it's like, I got to change some things. So that's when I stopped the drop shipping stores. I eventually left my warehouse job, and this was probably around January of 2020. And then I had to stop my other job due to COVID, my warehouse job, and that was in March of 2020. So literally no college degree, got nothing going for me. I'm literally day trading, trying to make some money here and there, and then got no job, right? So I'm low-key depressed at this time, not knowing what to do. I'm like, God, what is my purpose? So literally one night, I'm over here just scrolling through Zillow, and then the thought came to me. It was like, be a real estate agent. So I was like, all right. I was like, say less. So I told my parents, I'm going to be a real estate agent, go take the course. And they're like, all right, I'll pay for that. That's like your, so-called college tuition. So they paid for that. At this time, I was diving deeper with my relationship with God, kind of, maneuvering, trying to see what my purpose was and stuff. But that's when, end of April, of 2020, that's when I started, the process of becoming a real estate agent. And then officially, that's what I did. I became a real estate agent. So next up, this is what happened after. So being a real estate agent is not easy. It's not for the weak, right? It took me 9 months to get my first deal, and that's grinding. The second day, I made 400 cold calls, making cold calls like crazy, going out, talking to for sale by owners, doing all this stuff just to try and get a deal, get my name out there. Luckily, social media, I started posting on there, and it definitely helped me pop off. So if you're a new real estate agent, I would say post on social media, definitely utilize it. Get your face out there, post on TikTok. Do not sleep on TikTok. But yeah, it took me 9 months to get that first deal, but after that it started rolling, and that's in regards to the agent side of things. And then after a year and a half, that's when I got my first fix and flip. That was before I partnered with my partner now, Skylar, but that's him there. Oh, let's go back. And then now, today, we're doing wholesale deals. We wholesaled land, houses, novations. We're right now building our rental portfolio, and I'm 23, and then he's 22. So next up, I want to go over the lessons I learned, because, a loss is never really a loss. It's just a lesson, right? So first thing is never listen to someone that has never done what it is you're trying to do, because you will end up not doing it just like them, right? So if you want to go be a real estate investor, don't talk to someone that has never done a deal. It's just going to be discouraging. They're going to push you down, right? So that's a major one. Another one is whatever you focus on expands. And this is so true. Like, this is probably the best advice I ever gotten. Another real estate investor told me this when I was touring one of his properties. And, just trying to build that relationship with them. He was like, Stephanie, what are your goals? At this time, I was a real estate agent doing, some deals here and stuff. And I was like, I want 30 by 30. And I meant, I want 30 rental properties by the age of 30, right? And he was like, well, how are you going to do that if you just showing buyers around? Basically. I'm like, yeah, like, how am I going to do that? So that's when he literally brought the I don't know, the name to me, Stephanie Buys Houses. He was like, you're going to take over Harrisburg. That's where he literally had the vision in me before I had it in myself, right? So some people will be like some people can see it in you before you see it in yourself. But him telling me whatever you focus on expands, that's when I switched everything, and I literally stopped focusing on posting on social media in regard to like house tours and stuff, and I started focusing on making more cold calls in regards to investors, driving for dollars, like doing different things to get deals as an investor. So next thing I want to go over is be inspired by others, but focus on your journey and don't compare. Right? So a lot of us get caught up with seeing, other people like David and Isaiah getting 6-figure deals, which is crazy. It blows my mind. So it definitely inspires me, pushes me harder, having people like that in the circle. But you don't want to focus, you don't want to compare, right? Just focus on your journey and keep on crushing it. Last thing, y'all, make sure y'all always have a JV agreement in place. Do y'all know what a JV agreement is? Joint venture, yep. So joint venture is like whenever you're partnering up with someone, y'all have an agreement in place stating who gets what. Like, is it 50-50? Is it 60-40? So on and so forth. All right, so let's get into it. So how to do a fix and flip with little to, no money. You'll need a little bit of money, I'm going to be honest. A little bit, but very little. So the best way is to basically show an example, a case study of what happened to me to be able to do this. And it's crazy because all this happened of coming to events like this. And the specific event it was actually Justin. I want to shout out Justin Robital. He has his breakfast meetups. And I went to one of his meetups. I remember this. It was around Christmas time, so literally not a lot of people was there just because of the holiday. It was literally 4 of us, right? We were there. We got to talking. We were there probably for an hour or 2. And they asked me, they're like, Stephanie, why haven't you done your first deal yet? Right? And I was like, I don't have the money. Like, being an agent, I ain't getting no money. Where's the money, coming from? And I felt wrong. I was completely wrong. They literally was telling me, you don't need money. You got to find a good deal. And once I heard that, I was like, all right. I spoke it into existence. I was like, just wait. The next meetup, I'm going to have a deal. Right? It's crazy because literally right after I said that week after, I got a deal. So I'm gonna tell you guys how I found this deal and break it down for you. So you guys can literally replicate this process and get yourself a good deal and get these flips going. So here we go. So I was cold calling actually as an agent. So I wasn't even doing much as an investor, but like cold calling as an agent at this time for listings. Now, this cold call I made, I was like, yeah, you know, are you interested in selling? So on and so forth. She was like, you know, I would sell, but my property has mold. I was like, okay. You know, investor alert kind of went off. So what I did is I scheduled that appointment. You know, I went out, went to meet her, and the way I came about it is I came as like an agent, but also an investor. So I brought like my listing materials and stuff like that, because you just never know. And then I set that appointment, I viewed the property, and then after viewing the property, I was like, okay, like this could potentially be, you know, a deal. Like I'm not sure, but it could be a deal. So I had another investor at that same breakfast meetup come out and, you know, have him walk the property. I was like, is this a deal? He's like, you got a deal. You got a good one. So he confirmed that it was a deal. So what I did was I gave a seller a choice, right? And you guys, even if you're not an agent, you can still do this. You can still give a seller a choice, always connect with, you know, an investor-friendly agent. So make sure you're networking with other agents in the room here. But I gave them either you want this cash offer or do you want this MLS? We can put this on the MLS. I can list it for you. But this is what you're going to get because it has, you know, a little bit of mold in it and needs some work. So she chose the cash offer. And I asked the investor, I was like, would you like to partner on this? And he said, yes, most definitely. Right? So the great thing about this is since I found the deal, he was able to bring the hard money lender as well as the contractor. Because at that time, I didn't know any contractors. I didn't have any connections with hard money lenders. So he brought that side, I brought this side, right? So let's break it down. So this was a condo flip out in Humboldt, PA. So perfect location. You know, not too far from Hershey. Our purchase price was $135,000. Rehab and holding costs came to $43,062.49. So our all-in was a little over $178,000. Our sale price was $225,000. And I'm an agent, so I listed it, right? And our sold price, yeah, we had so many showings, it was crazy. Sold for $255,000 cash. So, yeah, it's all glory to God because it's just crazy. But profit, $61,000, and for that, like I said, 50-50, so we were able to split that 50-50. And literally from a cold call. So I want to break down what you guys need to be able to do this. So like, yeah, I used a dialer to be able to make my cold calls, which, you know, it probably cost me $100 a month or so. But if you're able to make so many cold calls and stuff, then you're more likely to get a deal faster. But very little amount of money. And I think the only thing that I put into this deal right here was like $200 for some, you know, 2 light fixtures, literally. So you really don't need a lot of money to be able to get a profit like this. Like $200 to that, it's crazy. But this is how I found the deal. So like I said, in regards to the list, I got a list from Propstream. Propstream is a great platform. I'm sure, Zach, you have like a code for it to have it a little bit cheaper, a good discount for everyone in the room. But I want to tell you guys exactly how I pulled the list, because a lot of people, they'll tell you, okay, go to Propstream, make a list. But then the new investor's like, okay, like, what should the list be, you know? So this is what I did. Like I said, I was looking for listings at the time, so that's why this list is kind of filtered towards that. It's not so much distress for a seller. But I picked the zip code of 17036, single family, so the SFH is single family, condo, townhouse, built in 2005 or earlier, off the MLS, with 10 years of ownership or more, and an estimated equity of 50% or more. After that, I got that list, then I took it over to skip trace it on batch skip tracing. And that's literally, it's just gonna give you the number. So Propstream gives you the address and the person's name, but skip tracing it on batch skip tracing or direct skip tracing, that's actually what we use now, that will give you the person's cell phone number, right? So you can call them, it will also give you their email, so on and so forth. So at this time, I used Mojo Dialer. This is literally when you put that list after you skip trace it, you put it into a dialer. The dialer will literally just call for you, so you're not hand dialing and wasting time. And I think at that time I was using the triple line dialer, so it was calling 3 people at a time. Whoever picked up, I was just on it. So that's what you want to do to literally find the deals. You want to get some lists, targeted lists. You can look for tax delinquent on Propstream. You can look for pre-foreclosures. You can look for people that have adjustable rate mortgage. Like so many different things you can filter your list to make it targeted, but you want to make sure the seller's in some sort of distress, because that's going to show that there's motivation there. But after that, like I said, he brought the lenders and the contractors after I found that deal, and then I paid roughly like $200 for, like I said, some light fixtures. So I want to just inspire you guys, like if I can do it, so can you, right? So you guys are all here for a reason, and God didn't bring you this far to only bring you this far. So keep on pushing, keep on doing what you need to do to get that deal and to inspire others. But that is it. Yeah.